Okay, welcome back to part 2 of Mission 2 of Let's Play Super Wars Alpha Gaiden. Now that we're actually going to get started here, first we want to take a look at our new units. This is Daitarn 3. He's pretty damn good. He has a lot of armor and HP. And as you can see, he also there's Banjo's stats. Prevail, shield, deflective, which I talked about before. And here's his weapons. Yeah, he's notable for having 3 really great post-movement attacks that just have a will requirement, and they completely free. Unfortunately, need a little bit of will before we can get access to those. Very good post-movement attacks. And here's Sandrock. And Katra's stats. It only has 2 attacks, but his strongest attack is notable for being completely free of energy costs, like Banjo's post-movement attack, except his doesn't even require will. Here's Hayato and the Liger. It's pretty much the same as the other Get machines we had in the last mission. He has Prevail, he has Alert, and there's the stats. And same weapons as the other Get machines from the previous mission. And here's the stats for the Double Zeta Gundam, Judo. He has the beam coating ability and the form and split abilities. Beam coating means you take less damage from beam weapons. And there was Judo's stats. Sorry, I flashed it kind of fast. Here's the probably improved stats. See how funnel is affected by the new type 1 skill? Okay. And there's the enemy space bees. Now what we're gonna do is we'll definitely want to pick up both those containers, but I'm actually not gonna move in on those bees quite yet. I want to lead them away towards where we started, but more to the corner of the island. There's a reason for this. The reason being very skill point related. So I sent the I transported Daitarn 3 into its plane form. Still kind of a brick and hard to dodge with, but it makes it move a bit faster. But I transformed the Double Zeta into the G Fortress mode so it can go pick up this container. I went ahead and set Hayato across the bridge for a very important reason that's also related to the skill point. Sent Katra over there in Sandrock, and sent the Club Lee over here so it can be ready at that corner of the island. There's a reason for this. And with that, we'll go ahead and end the turn. Okay, as the space bees move, they're just gonna move up a bit. After the bumblebee's turn, it's gonna switch back to ours. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the G Fortress pick up that container. Double Zeta picks up that container and gets us a repair kit. A repair kit is a expendable, a consumable part that heals HP. And we're gonna go ahead and have the Club Lee pick up this next part. This next container, I should say, but it is a part, which is the dual sensor. The dual sensor is a very good part. It's an equipment part that increases your accuracy by a flat 10% to whoever you equip it on. It's really helpful. Gonna move those guys into position, and I'm gonna move Hayato this way. The reason I'm moving that Get machine over there is also related to the skill point, but for a different reason. And with that, it's time to let the enemies take their turn. Judo's probably gonna get attacked because he's really close to them because he went and picked up the container. I'm gonna try and counter a bit, but mostly just so but I gotta be careful and make sure I don't kill all of them. For a reason I'll allude to in a minute. That's another B down. Here I decided to just evade because I didn't want to kill too many of them. And it switches to our turn. First thing I did is I moved the G Fortress up with the rest of my guys. I then put the sand rock there, and I moved the Quebbly back a bit, and I moved Hayato a little bit, and I believe I do something with Daitar, and I think I go to a building and land on it, if I remember correctly. No, I don't quite land yet. That's next turn. But I just moved there. And I'll let the bees take their turn. These robot bees, if you're wondering what series they're from, they're actually from Riger. Anyway, it switches to our turn. I'm gonna transform the G Fortress back into the double Zeta, and I'm in range to take a pot shot at one of them, so I'm just gonna sit here and take a pot shot with the double beam rifle. Of course, it can't counter me back from here. Now, once I lead them over to where I'm positioned, I want to make sure that I leave one alive, and make sure that last one gets killed at the top of my turn. Ideally with going into my turn and me just finishing my first unit. There's a reason for this that I'll explain in a minute. And yes, this reason is, again, like I said, skill point related. Just adjusting my position just a little bit. Okay. I have to use the Daitar cannon because it's a bit away and I don't have the will to use really good post-movement attacks yet that are essentially free, so I have to use the one that's ammo based. Now I think I landed on the building to take advantage of the defense bonus. Yes, I did. Yeah, that's a pretty good combination with Daitar and armor. Makes it really hard to damage. And I don't need to use the cannon here. I can try to finish it up with a big web. This is already toughened up from earlier. Big one's nice because it doesn't cost anything.
まあ、そっちにとっちゃ命中させやすいだろうね、この大ターンは。大ターンビッグウェッブ。
There we go. Down he goes. The outer bees moving, one's attacking double data. I'll go ahead and counter this one. I'll leave that last one alive though. And another goes down.
Nani yattendayo, hetakuso. Yaraseru ka!
I just had to evade there because I wanted to kill it at the top of my turn. It's the top of my turn, so now I'm going to go ahead and kill the last beat to trigger the event. And you'll see why I did this. I'm using the Quebbly for it because I want to have my more useful people being available. Yeah, the event begins. Yep. Something coming. Oh good, it's allies. You can see why I moved Hayato over there, so that way you can meet up with Ryoma and Benkei and they could actually form their robot. That's why I sent him that way. Well, that's one explanation out of the way. Now, there's a reason why I positioned my guys at that corner of the island, which you'll see in a minute. Yeah, Titan reinforcements are coming. The reason I needed to be in that corner of the island is so I could be near where they arrive at. To get the skill point in this mission, you see all those Titans there? Starting when this event is triggered, I have 3 turns that until the mission ends. To get the skill point, you need to destroy all the Titans here within those 3 turns. So I needed to be in a good position for this. So that's why I delayed killing that last bee until now. Because now is when the turner ticks start. And this is why you don't want to kill the bee during the enemy turn, because you'll effectively lose a whole turn worth of being able to kill Titans. And actually have a chance of getting the skill point. So you have to plan it out, kind of plan it out like this. Yeah, it looks like Char and Emma are working for the Titans. As evidenced by the Gundam Mark II and the Hayakashiki there. And Yazan is with them too. Yeah, that 3 minutes basically represents 3 turns. You need to kill all the Titans before those 3 turns are up if you want the skill point. Which is why I wanted to trigger that event in the way that I did after I got my guys in position, and why I wanted to trigger it at the beginning of my turn. It gives me a little bit more time. And with the event over, I think this is gonna be a good place to be a stopping point, so I'll save. And in the next part, we're gonna fight us some Titans, and hopefully pick us up another skill point. So with the save done, I'll see you in the next in part 3.